Welcome back to another edition of Dawn of Man. Excuse me, not Dawn of Man. This is definitely Banished. So, that fumble out of the way, we are pretty much picking up again where we left off last time. We have 5 people on most of the farmlands, which we haven't been able to collect a full amount of it before the end or in the start of winter, or the end of the harvest season and the start of winter. So pretty much what we're gonna just jump right into off the gate right here is gonna be demolishing this bad boy right here just to get it out the way. That way we don't have to deal with it anymore, and just get it out the way. And we are going to be splitting the herd, taking 4 of our sheep and moving them down here to another pasture. We're going to go ahead and set the pasture up. Go ahead and take this, pick a little corner wherever we actually can start building. I do want to make sure it's got some decent space, not too terribly much. Actually, I guess the best place to start would be to make a house right alongside of it. So we'll go ahead and throw, never mind, actually. We'll play around with where to put the pasture real quick, because we're not actually needed right now over in the village. The village can take care of itself, so in that regards it's not too pressing whether or not it needs us. So well, okay, so what I am gonna do is place down a home. We'll go ahead and spin the home. Place this bad boy we'll place it nestled right in there. We'll go ahead and build the pasture right, not in front, but right alongside it. That way we can actually make it the space we can a lot. 20 by 20, 20 by 8, excuse me. It's not exactly what ideal. I kind of wanted more space, but that'll be a start, and we can always keep adjusting it for later. So that's going to be our home and pasture. We're also going to go ahead and set up another hunting cabin like I talked about in the other video right here, to go ahead and try to take advantage of having this little area down here, considering it is decently populated with deer. Again, it's not too troublesome if we don't actually get ourselves to that point where we're not too concerned about it, or get ourselves to the point where hunting is no longer a key part of our civilization. So because truth be told, I probably could actually just cancel that. I don't really think we need that. We'll go ahead and cancel it, because I don't think we need it. I think we'll be just fine without it. What is going on? Where is our... this guy right there? Nope, that's the wrong one. This one. Nope. That one. Yep. Okay. Pop that back up. Go ahead and get out of this. Alright, so... where is our issue? Our issue is no laborers, and we're not getting enough iron from the mine, which is okay. It's not too ridiculous or surprising, to be honest with you. Let's see. We can go ahead and knock down some of the stone and get a couple more people in the mine. Okay, so that's being set up. There's no laborers to go do that work right now, so I'm not really stressed about that. Kind of am surprised. What's that? Oh, I guess it's 40 right there, so that's half the population. Mining and farming. So I don't know, it just seems a shame with the hunting cabin. I'd like to have one, but I just don't think it really makes that big of a difference. I think in the beginning it definitely is convenient and works really well, but I don't think it's very necessary after you hit a certain point in time. At least just my own personal judge on that. We're also going to go ahead and throw down some roads right here, just since we're already in the process of building this. We might as well just go ahead and continue it off. Actually, that kind of sucks. I can't finish off roads. It's okay though. We'll go ahead and run some roads right here. That way we can know where we stand in regards to that. Can I build roads this way? No, so that is a little gully. So we actually can't, people might be able to cross that, I'm not sure. We'd have to see once we start getting some stuff built down that way. So, like I said in the last video, we will be building our new pasture down here along with another home, and we're going to be building actually a second home right alongside this one. I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much just try to make it fit in where I can. I don't want to take too much space up with just homes, but I do want to have ourselves set up in another area down here so that way we can keep expanding this way. I'm thinking, since this is kind of cut off, can we do a tunnel right here? Is that possible? No, so people must be able to cross between there. I'm thinking another pasture and maybe a farm right here. 14, no, so how about here? 14, 15. Ooh, can't go there either. Alright. We can go 15 there. Ooh. We can. Okay, so an orchard could go there. So we'll hold off on that. The orchard can go somewhere. So that would be nice. so we have the orchard. I'm actually gonna move quite a few of the stone cutters because I'll leave one stone cutter. And I'm gonna fill out the mine because the mine seems to be having the most issue when it comes to people. Because our 2 blacksmiths can definitely keep up with the needs for tools. It's just a matter of if we have enough iron to supply them. Which at this point in time doesn't seem like it's happening. Which, like I said, that is going to be our new issue, is going to be keeping up with iron needs for the blacksmithies. Okay, so the mine we might leave alone. Again, like I said, I'm trying to find out where our cap for people are. We might end up just getting to the point where we're just growing and the cap is never actually reached, which would be completely fine, and I wouldn't be too concerned with that. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this stuff get built. And we're going to then put a storage barn right there. Yeah, put a storage barn right there. That way we can actually have stuff get stored there, and we don't have to be stressed with having people walk all over the place, and resources will be scattered about decently. We also can throw another wood cutter down here if we have a storage shed. So we will go ahead and throw the storage shed down here. I'm gonna add the roads real quick though on the back side of this pasture, just so that's set up and I don't have to worry about running into pushing the roads away. Okay, I'm gonna throw the storage barn there, and I'm gonna throw I'm gonna throw wood cuttery right there. The wood cuttery right there. Anyway, we got another storage barn, a pasture, we got a wood cuttery being built there, another wooden house. I'm gonna leave space for a farm here, just so that way it's already preset and I don't have to worry about it. Our iron issue is being fixed, so that is nice. What's going on with the merchant? He's just got iron for us. He's got... well, actually, we might take his 66 iron. Hit enter, and we will add in... Let's do 50. And see where we're at trade value wise. Oh, well, I definitely said 50, not 103. We'll go 45. Okay, so we need 46 and 2. Whoops. 2. Okay, so we will trade that. So now we have his iron. I'll go ahead and throw one trader in the mix, but we'll toss the inventory down to keep nothing right now, so that way we don't have to stress about that. And just that little influx of iron will be able to help us, because they'll go ahead and store all that stuff away. And truth be told, I didn't really even get to, I wasn't even able to get to a point where I could see if having the extra people really helped. It seems like it did for some of them. This one and this one for sure. This guy right here, I think we're still having issues, so I might go ahead and switch that over to peppers for the following year. And then we'll go ahead and bump our farming down. We'll bump our forestry up. And then we'll bump all this down. We'll keep 12 on hand right now. That way we can still keep up with it. We'll fill out our gatherers, fill out our fishing, and we'll do 3 in hunting. Our trader did move all that stuff, so we technically don't need a trader anymore either. It's not exactly the most needed position. So I do have the laborers traveling all over the place, so I'm not really too upset with what's getting done, since they are going and mining a bunch of stuff for us. Us filling all of our storage is not going to be a bad thing. So plus, I'm not really worried about the blacksmiths. It's really more of making sure that we can keep up with the tools at this point in time, because it seems like we're definitely doing fine with iron. So it's really just the tools, which again we completely solved that issue, so I'm not too stressed. We just hit the other issue I said was going to happen, where all of the people, or not all the people, we hit the issue of us running out of iron, which is not that big of a deal. Obviously it's going to happen. It's nothing we can control. We just have to try to keep up with the amount of stuff everybody needs, and we're at 85 people right now, so we're going to try to get to 100, and I'm pretty sure if we can hit a cap of 100 people That's probably the most amount of people I've had in a single play of this game, so I'd be really happy with that. I am, however, going to slow the game speed down a little bit, just because, you know, we're at that point in time where we don't really need to rush through stuff. Everything is fine. We'll probably speed up the game if it really is moving that slow. Well, we'll move it back to 5. It's not that big of a deal. If at any point in time I get enough comments asking for a slower play, then I'll do that. But at this point in time, I'm comfortable with 5 times. It's not that big of a deal. Really debating whether or not to make a 5th blacksmith or a 3rd blacksmith. Really don't want to, just because the 2 were able to solve the issues, but it does seem like we're gonna have to do more in way of blacksmiths. But you know, like I said, it's all these playthroughs are gonna do is, for myself, is going to be showing me where caps and limitations are on people, populations, and how much of certain items you need. Obviously, at the amount of people and children we have, our food is doing okay. I'm judging that by the time we hit like 120 between adults and children, we will probably start having issues with food, which we'll have to switch over and start using like more pastures and stuff like that, which is already being set up. It's not like we really have to worry about that so much, so that will be fine. And then also with this kind of stuff, this right here is really just like a backup. I'm building it so I don't have to worry about it later, along with us building the storage barn. It's another, just, if I have it now, I don't have to stress about getting one later, so, because it'll already be built and set up. And then I'm thinking, if I put a orchard or another field right here for crops and plants, I might end up doing another forester's lodge like right here. That way I can keep as much trees in this area as I possibly can, and then I'd have double the workforce working in this area. Obviously the amount of foresters will go up, but if I do that, then I'll be able to use up the space accordingly. And then I mean, the biggest thing is going to be that people are going to have to walk all the way over here for tools, but at the same time, I'm not really stressed about that, because we will eventually be needing another mine. Like I said, when this mine gets about maybe like 25%, we'll have to check to see how much mines are needed. You need 68, what's that, stone? Yeah. Okay, so we're actually fine when it comes to a mine. I'm not that pressed. Probably at like 50%. We'll build another mine. So the blacksmiths seem like they're doing their job. We have extra tools sitting around their homes, so that is fine. I think our next item on the list for stuff to go ahead and build is probably going to be a herbalist. Just to have one, because we don't I think that's something we're gonna need, and I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it type of deal. So I'm probably gonna put the herbalist. Where is she again? Herbalist. We'll put her next to the farm. That way it's not too far out of everybody's way, but it's still out of the way enough that I'm using dead space. So I'm going to place that there. Again, at this point, I do have a pretty high workload compared to what I have available, but again, I'm using the amount of people to keep up with the needs of the population. Pretty much trying to harvest everything and then keeping up with needs food-wise. I don't know, I might end up putting squash here, I'm not sure yet. Because that was actually pretty quick that they just did that. And I might also have to stop removal for certain things, because I might be overdoing it as far as the people are concerned with the amount of removal I'm having people do. So I'll probably stop that just because I'm having people go all over the place for certain items when we really don't need to go that far for different things at this current point in time. I won't cancel that actually. I'll leave that and let that go. I'm not gonna. Okay. So I canceled the removal of that stuff. Wow, I really think we're gonna have to build another blacksmith. I really didn't think that was gonna happen, but it kinda seems like we need another one. That's kinda crazy. I really was kind of hoping the amount of people we set into farming would be able to regulate that, but I don't. It's not working out the way I planned. We'll drop down, give ourselves 12 laborers. Logs are still low, which isn't surprising. Logs are probably going to continuously be low forever up until the point we get our firewood to start hitting caps, which I believe we set the cap for firewood at 1,000. So we also could probably start doing coal if I got a coal mine. But the biggest thing with that is going to be that I need tools to stop being an issue before I switch the mine over to something separate. What do they have? Cattle again? Well, it'd be nice, but I don't necessarily have anything poor cattle. Well, the happiness of my citizens are doing pretty good, even if we don't exactly have tools all the time, so that's okay. We will go ahead and bump what's this? More but not available. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. So I think the good thing is that we are hitting that point where the firewood is not being ran through. So I think we've hit the point where everybody has a stockpile of firewood in their homes, and we're not stressed about that anymore. So I'm gonna bump up the builders to 4 to try to get this herbalist done, because if I can get the health of the citizens up, that would be exquisite. Plus, I'm not too concerned with the speed at which everything gets built. It's kind of more just that it gets built, because we'll probably end up, once this is done, building a bridge right here and taking advantage of this area with this being here, where we're talking about putting another forester here. We might actually switch and put a forester over here in this area, just because it's already untouched and we don't necessarily have any real reasons to keep it, or not keep it, to really do anything to it. So, you know, just kind of taking advantage of open space. And then again, you know, just keeping an eye on the remaining limits of everything, so. Because here shortly we will be having to think of where we want our next quarry at, which will probably end up throwing a quarry right over here in this general area, making a bridge and doing a quarry, and then having space to do at least 2 more over in that area, because I don't think this fills back up once you remove the quarry, but I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure how that works.